Very good morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Nyamgul Akaji. This is the front page review on this 20th day of April 2026. We'll bring you the headlines from some of our national dailies, and as usual, we expect you to say something about these headlines. After we join Rufai Hussaini to give us his thoughts on the headlines, we also are going to be joined by Dr. Peter Anosike to be looking at these headlines as well. And then after that, it will be time for our guest of honor, and that is you. Okay, let's just start by just telling ourselves some of the headlines or reading some of the headlines to you so that you can get acquainted with what is happening in case you have no data to go to the internet or you cannot get a newspaper this early to read and know what is going on. These are the headlines this morning. Federal government votes 1.4 billion naira for Boko Haram terrorist trials. Tinubu's government planning to reintegrate repentant terrorists into society. Terrorists abduct another Kwara monarch, demand 400 million naira ransom. And of our robbery, Kwara APC is insisting that Saraki goes to trial. World Bank report, no leakage in Federation revenue. That's a cause. Is this alarm over alleged plot to tarnish his reputation? Attempt to gag broadcasters. Atiku, Serap, Amnesty International slam NB gag the press. Alleged partisanship. Utomi Falano orders demand INEC chair and Mukwiton's resignation. 25. 55% of children in Nigeria unprotected from mosquito bites, and JAM releases over 1.8 million UTME results nationwide. Those are just announcements to you in case your child wrote JAM. Be sure that they check their results. The results have been released. 1.8 million UTME results have been released nationwide so far. And then we also have this report which is saying 55% of children in Nigeria live or are unprotected from mosquito bites. This is really disheartening, or this is really heartbreaking, because in my experience, I've seen that when the federal government or whatever relevant organization was distributing this mosquito nets, treated mosquito nets for free, there are people who were using it as fences for their gardens and so many other things, not using it appropriately for what it was meant for. That means you're not only using it wrongly, you're depriving people who might actually need it. So you go, because you have connections, you collect like 5, you say your family is has a very large number. Maybe you're living in a place that you don't need the nets, and then you're taking this 5 that could have gone to another poor family that needs this nets. You deprive them of that, and so 55% now, 55% of the population of Nigerian children are unprotected from mosquito bites, which is really, really, I mean, you know what mosquito bites can do, what they can cause, and how expensive drugs are. So please, if you're part of those people who are depriving others of this opportunity to have bed nets, desist from that. If you've done it before, look for a way to pay, more or less to pay back to society, and make sure the person closest to you that you know needs these things is given the comfort or the opportunity to sleep under a net. I'm just saying, this is what I saw some time ago. Now I don't know if there are still free mosquito treated nets, but if there are no longer mosquito treated nets, that means it's unfortunate. The people who needed these nets may not have had this opportunity, because those who did not actually need it were carrying it to do other things that they were not supposed to do. But anyway, I've given you the headlines for this morning and given these 2 announcements, or one announcement that UTME results are out and 1.4 million candidates results have been released. And finally, on this foreign scene, war. Entire Iran will be blown up if it fails to sign peace deal. That's according to Trump. Okay, let's join Rufai Hosseini for his thoughts this morning, and then when we return, hopefully Dr. Anosike will be joining us. Stay with us.
Right. So a couple of stories making the round. I think one of the biggest stories is this news circular by NBC. Pretty much saying that don't bully guests by journalists. They also said that stop making opinions as facts and other things. And Amnesty International and other rights group have been able to come out to say NBC's gotten it wrong. And I think NBC is getting it wrong because there were many judgment calls that one would have expected NBC to say something about or issue a statement about the journalists. Example number one case is that of Wiki. Wiki made some incendiary words recently. NBC didn't say anything about it. In fact, even in the past, where some stations have been openly partisan and biased, NBC didn't say anything about it. That's why a lot of people are looking and wondering that what is going on here? What is NBC driving at? Because we need to call a spade a spade. And we need to be able to say things the way they are for the growth and the development of our country. So if NBC is saying don't bully guests, does NBC also know that when you ask these guests questions, they are the ones that are first to turn it into a fight? And when you insist upon it, they try to change the narrative and scatter everything. Does the NBC make provisions for journalists that come to get attacked? When, for instance, the minister called me a small boy just because I asked him a question, does the NBC also make allowance for that? And that's why everybody is saying that this is just another attempt to be able to gag the press. And you see, the question I keep asking is, those that are now saying, oh, people should not talk today against a free press, when they also use that free press against others, what was done to them? Nothing. So let's be careful so that we don't run amok. And let's call a spade at all times. Let's not just be too excessively high and the likes. So please, that's just all we're asking for. And I think there's some good news. The people that were kidnapped in Benue, I think the police released a statement, the students that they've been rescued. 8 Benue kidnapped victims confirmed as UTME candidates. 8 rescued Benue kidnapped victims confirmed as UTME candidates. I thought JAM had come out to say that it was not their person, that no UTME candidates were there, that were going to write UTME. So we are happy this has finally laid this to rest. Former governor Shekarawu Dom's PDP, a lot of people are doing political realignment here and there. Rescheduled exam for kidnapped UTME candidates. That's what Governor Alia is urging the people out there. Unlawful sack, court okay's contempt charge against health minister. You know, Igbos criticizing their kingsmen, for supporting Tinubu are cowards. That's what your Lejoche is said to have said. But it doesn't need to call them cowards. It's the people who criticize you who you support here or there. That's just it. As there are Igbos that are supporting Tinubu, there are also Igbos that are not supporting Tinubu. So for you to now say that they have no right to criticize you, it doesn't need to be stretched that way. So anything you do in this world, you'll be open to criticism. It's just for you to be able to make your argumentation. Is also they're talking about a visible strike. And that is also in the offing. So let's see all of that pan out. Troops rescue abducted Benue. That Jam was saying that these candidates were not theirs. Article fault MBC advisory, call it pre-election censorship, and an attempt to muscle the media, which is very sad. We have been speaking wholly about it. And please, let us have a free and robust press. Nigerians sleep at airport over Lufthansa strike. I was caught in all of this too. It was not an easy one. Very interesting situation. Lufthansa had a strike, so people had a lot of backlog on their flights in Nigeria. And one will have thought that, after the court had ordered the army to be able to do something, then they would just go ahead and do it. But increasingly, you are seeing this, way they ignore the call, beg, by restoring those people after the court has been able to rule. I think that's what builds a society. El Rufai's reputation. His media advisor, Muyiwa Adekeye, warned of a malicious orchestration against him, pointing to a recent development which he said indicates a troubling pattern. The former governor recalled an incident in February 12 where he was allegedly targeted for arrest upon arrival in Nigeria. The latest concern, however, stemmed from an ongoing case that armed men had invaded his residence, acknowledging the civic duty of Nigerians to report crime. El Rufai's camp accused the newspaper of going to publish what he described as false imputations and insinuations linked to the former governor. So the El Rufai debacle still goes on. You cannot dictate to journalists. Amnesty International tackles MBC. Serap too has also tackled them. So those are the states of things happening. Government raid palace in Kwara and abduct wife and monarch. This is another sad one as regards the state of insecurity. And these are the things we'll talk about. Suspected bandits have abducted a traditional ruler, his wife, and another resident in a brazen midnight attack in Olayinka community in the Felodu local government area of Kwara State. The monarch is said to be among those recently elevated by the state government. The assailants said to be heavily armed stormed the palace of Obasama Naweda at 1:40 a.m. on Saturday, firing sporadically to scare before taking him and two others to an unknown destination. Very sad reality hitting all of us. The level of insecurity and the level of pain that is gradually creeping in and hitting all of us. I mean, these are things that if we don't nip in the bud, definitely will destroy us and will destroy what we stand for.
Thank you very much, Rufai, for your thoughts this morning. We're expecting just read these headlines again to you so that uh, in case you forgot or you're just joining us now, you can also have a feel of what we are seeing on the headlines this morning. It will be misinformation. Federal government votes 1.4 billion naira for Boko Haram terrorist trial. That is what is there. For their trial, they have voted C. And the ADC is urging Nigerians to reject conflicting soft signals from Tinubu. 2025, Army gets 7% disbursement for security equipment. Pay rise, SANU rejects federal government's 30% offer. And then offer robbery, Kwara APC PDP SPA as DPP report clears Saraki. The Department of Public Prosecutions has cleared the former Senate President Bukola Saraki of all wrongdoing, but the APC is insisting that he must go to trial. Pirates abduct 20 passengers, including UTME candidates in Calabar, and terrorists abduct another Kwara monarch, demand 400 million naira ransom. The World Bank reports no leakage in federal government revenue as federal government explains fact deductions. They're saying the World Bank report was wrong and there are no deductions that are not explained, cannot be explained. So Nigerians should discountenance what the World Bank says. El Rufai raises alarm over alleged plot to tarnish his reputation. And Atiku, Serap, Amnesty International, slam NBC, calling their recent directive an attempt to gag the broadcasters, to gag the press. Remember the directive given to broadcasters nationwide on the do's and don'ts. Broadcasters should not intimidate the guests. Broadcasters should not bully the guests and all that. Even though, on the other hand, nothing was said about when the guests bully the presenters or broadcasters, what should be done. When the guests blackmail the presenters, what should be done. Anyway, they hinged it on professionalism or the lack thereof. Alleged partisanship. Utomi, Falano, others demand INEC chair Amupiton's resignation. And an APC chieftain, Senator Yusuf, has said that there'll be surprises, implosions in APC. Meanwhile, nobody in Rivers State has said anything about a consensus candidate or anybody even rear his head or to say that they are going to contest for governorship. Even the state governor has not said anything to suggest that he's coming back as governor. They are waiting for Wike to say something before they can make decisions in Rivers State. Remember that PDP and APC are being controlled by Wike, who is a member of the PDP and not of the APC, but controlling both parties. And he's calling them, I was calling that control a rainbow coalition. So all of them are in the same pot. So that's why this headline says consensus candidate, Rivers awaits Wike's rainbow coalition. Interesting. 1,000 Arewa members endorse Tinubu. These members are in Lagos. Arewa members in Lagos. 1,000 of them endorsed Tinubu. Election data at risk as hackers hold government agencies, banks to ransom. Countdown to primaries on settled parties triggers defections, internal disputes, and Nigerians pay 84.36 billion naira for meters in 2025. 55% of Nigerian children unprotected from mosquito bites, and JAM releases over 1.8 million UTME results nationwide. And then finally, war. Entire Iran will be blown up if it fails to sign peace deal. That's according to Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America. So we're waiting for Dr. Peter Anosike to join us shortly. But before he does that, we're going to take some messages that have already been sent by some of you, the fans. Even when we did not call out the numbers, it means that you have our number on speed dial, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So let's begin with this one coming from Temitokpe Onotoye. And she says, talk is cheap. So the statement made by gullible supporters that President Tinubu will win with a landslide in the 2027 presidential election is nothing but a mere political statement, because Nigerians are the ones that would determine who will become the president in 2027. My advice for Nigerians is to go out and collect their PVC and ensure to vote and defend their votes. On the issue of insecurity in the country, the only way out is for the president to stop playing dirty politics with human lives. The fight against insecurity can never be won in a situation where terrorists continue to get pardoned and be integrated into the society in the name of repentant Boko Haram. Finally, the presidency is yet to debunk the allegation raised by Alhaji Aliko Dangote that government is the reason for the high cost of cement in the country, because he collects more than half of the money that cement is being sold to Nigerians. Is this the renewed hope President Tinubu promised Nigerians? Now, wow, Olorun Agba, wow, God bless Nigeria. Temitokwe Onotoye from the Jegamo community. Thank you very much, Temitokwe, for your message. We're being joined by our guest in the house, best-selling author, Dr. Peter Anosike. And good morning to you and welcome to the program, Doctor.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Okay, I hope you had a wonderful weekend anyway.
Well, in Nigeria, we struggles from morning till night.
So anytime we wake up and we see the light,
struggle continues.
Aluta continua. Okay, so let's go to the headlines this morning, Dr. Anosike. 2027 battle lines. APC may scrap consensus plan in Flashpoint states. So what do you think about that? And let's join that with the fact that in River State, nobody has even voiced any ambition to contest, because Wike has not said anything.
Well, the emperor has not yet made his decision. Understand? So, and that shows you the kind of a country we are in. I know that all these things will backfire. The day they selected, they anointed their candidates for the local government chairman in River State. Both PDP and APC were in the same hall. Understand? It was election before the real election. So PDP and APC were in the same hall. So they were now saying, you go for this, go for Port Harcourt, you go for Obiakpo. Understand? So at the end of the day, then now it's time for governorship. They should also convey in the same hall. Let some week select the next governor of River State, because Rivers belong to him. Because River State belong to him. That's what happened to when people announce impunity to gain a taproot. So impunity, rascality has developed a taproot in River State. That's why nobody can say anything unless the emperor says that.
But is that even legal according to electoral laws, according to the
No,
constitution?
he
about
tells you
everything?
that they control the judiciary. Understand me? Remember what he told the APC national secretary, that they influenced the Supreme Court decision in Osun State, and now he is enjoying it. So they own the judiciary. That's why you always hear go to court.
Now that's serious. Okay. Let's go to security. We'll come back to politics a little bit later. Let's go to security. There's this talk about reintegrating over 800 repentant Boko Haram members into the society. ADC is kicking against it. Some Nigerians are kicking against it. But even the army is saying that's the way to go. So on the one hand, they are fighting insurgency. On the other hand, they are reintegrating insurgents back into the society. And knowing Nigeria as a country that does not have data, I don't even know how they're going to monitor these people to see whether they truly are repentant or they just use that as a front to gain intelligence into the operations of
if the army
security.
says that's the way to go, you and I shouldn't cry more than the bereaved. Understand? We shouldn't cry more than the bereaved, but everything is a joke. Understand? Somebody who has been indoctrinated, there's no soap you can use to wash that indoctrination because it is inside. Understand me? It is inside. It takes rigorous effort by trained people, which we don't have here. Understand? So that you keep somebody in detention for 6 months and you say he has repented. It's just like somebody inside an office with CCTV. He must behave himself. And that does not mean that the person is not a thief. Understand? So when you put somebody in a guard room and soldiers are watching him, he should behave okay. Understand? But when you let him out of that guard room, he will revert to who he is. So there's nowhere in the world I have heard that terrorists are being reintegrated into the society. People who have murdered others, people who have committed all sorts of atrocities. Now, if you are reintegrating them, what happens to their victims? What happens to the boy or to girl that is now an orphan? What happens to the woman that's now a widow? Understand me? So for me, Nigeria is a joke, a very big joke.
Oh. Interesting. If that really will happen, that's interesting. Okay.
No, what happens to the children who are now orphans, whose fathers were killed by these bandits, terrorists, that we have now reintegrated into the army, and so on and so forth? Understand? What happens to the young women who are now widows because their husbands were killed by these terrorists?
Okay. Now, when we talk about fighting insurgency, this headline says 2025 Army gets 7% disbursement for security equipment. And a peek into the story says, amid the escalating security crisis across Nigeria, the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force are grappling with gross underfunding, particularly in the acquisition of security and defense equipment, according to records from the federal government's Open Treasury portal. Details of the 2025 budget performance posted on the portal showed that the 20.56 billion naira budgeted for the Nigerian Army for the purchase of security equipment, only 1.46 billion, representing 7.11%, was disbursed as of December 31, 2025. So all the money we've been hearing, they're, they're approving for security in the country, as at December, only 7% had been disbursed.
Do you know that since 2024 up to today, we have been running a single budget? They call it consolidated budget. Understand? They say that 2025 budget will expire by June of 2026. So nobody is defending the budget. We don't know to what extent that the budgets are that's performed. Okay, if they ask you what is the budget, what is the performance of 2025 budget in education, what will you say? Understand? So the issue, and in budget there are three processes. One is the budget itself. Two is the approval. Three is the disbursement. Understand? 1 trillion could be budgeted. 500 million could be approved. 100 million could be disposed. Could be disbursed. Understand? So when you hear that 100 trillion has been approved for budget, that's for the military, understand that they are going to end insurgency in a week because of the 100 trillion. Don't be impressed. The question is, how much are going to be approved? From the approval, how much are they going to distribute? Understand? So they use this thing.
Security, should this be the practice? Because security is not something that you plan and plan and plan, especially what is happening in Nigeria. It is not waiting for you to say, okay, let's have a 10-year plan. The insurgents are killing our people right now, and you have approved a particular amount of money. And
Not even that's up to 20% of it was
not even 10%.
So that's why, for me, we have our soldiers, our army are among the best in Africa. Understand? These guys are well-trained people. They go through hell in their training to become the best. But the motivation is not there. They are not being well motivated to bring out their best. That's number one. Number two, bringing politics into the army. When the heads are not, there's no consensus speech. National Security Advisor will be saying a different thing. Chief of Defense Staff will be saying a different thing. Minister of Defense will be saying a different thing. So there's no cohesion. So this will also be affecting them. Understand? So it's not just about money. Money is important. Understand? Money is important, but the direction from above is also very, very important. What is the direction? They are getting different signals. They are getting different signals, which is not the best at all.
That's serious. Okay, the DPP has cleared Saraki of the allegations linking him to the Ofa robbery, but APC is insisting that he must go to trial.
Well, it is the DPP that decides who goes to court, a case that goes to court or not. Understand? It is the DPP, not a political party. And I know that is a witch hunt. This case happened over 8 years ago. Bukona Saraki, understand, is the son of Olushona Saraki,
Yeah.
a well-trained medical doctor. Understand? He was born with a golden spoon. Now, linking him with robbing bank is a big joke. Understand? Linking him with robbing a bank is just like linking Noki Ibunidion, whose father, Gabriel Ibunidio, owns a whole street in UK. You say he go to rob a bank. How much is in that bank? So for me, I know it is part of the witch hunt. Understand? Keep him busy so that he will not be focused on the next election. That's the game. Keep him busy with court cases so that he will not be focused on the next election. The same thing that is happening to El-Rufai as we speak. The same thing that is happening to Abubakar Mandami as we speak. Keep them busy so that they will not have time to focus on the next election. So when you ask me if APC is fighting corruption, I will tell you that they don't even have the moral right to talk about corruption. APC don't have the moral right to talk about corruption. It's like Mondo Sumbo calling Lawrence Anini a thief.
Well, maybe one is a thief, the other is an armed robber. There's a difference. One is a kidnapper, one is a bomo. There's a difference. Okay, let's look at some political things. Let's go back to INEC 2027. Someone has said, no less than Senator Yusuf, who is a chieftain in the APC, has said there'll be a lot of surprises and implosions in APC, especially when this consensus candidacy and all that is bringing trouble into the APC. But this is what he has predicted. He said in the story I read that if the APC wins election, as they are saying they will win, it will not be because of the sterling performances of the APC.
Because there's none.
It will be because there is no opposition. That's what he said.
I have said it even in my book. I say it is if the opposition is strong, the government in power will be weak. Understand? So that APC is doing what they are doing now is because the opposition has not built a strong consensus. Understand? Once the opposition gets their acts together, APC will be kicked out. So if APC wins in 2027, the problem is the opposition. It is because, one, they have not delivered on the critical factors, which are security, economy. Understand? This is what voters look at in every election in the world. What is this? What is the degree of security? What is the degree of economy? Is our life better now than 4 years ago? What is the quality of life? How is protection of life and property in the country? And in this area, APC has failed woefully. Understand? So if they win, one is rigging, two is the fault of the opposition. Once the opposition,
what else can the opposition do? Because
they should get together.
All of them came together, and now the factions that are coming, a lot of people see these factions as being sponsored by the very people who they are trying to oppose. So how else can they, because they have the instruments of state that are working in their favor? I mean the APC now. So how else can the opposition?
No, the instrument of state will always be there. What the opposition needs to do, just like I will always, because I reference these things in my book, Abuse of Power. If you want to get out the incumbent, number one is your messaging. Understand? Get all the problems in the country, tie it on the head of the ruling party. Understand me? Get all the problems that's in the country, tie it on the head of the incumbent.
I think they've done that. So.
Sustain it.
Okay.
Keep on repeating it, so it will be in the consciousness of the people. Understand? No. Now, the more angry the masses are, the more ready they'll be. The more ready they are for the change. Understand me? It is anger that that changes a situation. Understand me? Not a happy circumstance. So the more angry the people are, the more they'll be ready for the change. So messaging is key. Understand? Begin to hammer on the people. What is the quality of your knife? What's the quality of knife of the children?
Through which medium are you talking about this
We
consistency?
are happy that we now have something beyond the traditional media. Understand me? Because the newspapers have compromised. The standard TV radio stations have compromised. Understand? If Donald Trump has depended on the traditional media in America, he would have failed. Because over 80% of the media in America are anti-Donald Trump. So it is this podcast, social media that help him. And this is what those in opposition should also be using. In less than 3 years, Tinubu has had meeting with the Newspapers Owners Association of Nigeria for more than 4 times. That's owners of the newspapers in Nigeria. What do you expect? I sent a story to a newspaper in Lagos State here. The guy called me, Peter. They were told not to use stories against APC, a national newspaper. But I will save them not to mention their name. The editor called me. Peter, we will not use this story. We were told not to use stories against APC. Understand? Wow. So, but I'm happy with the social media. And with the social media, people are getting information. So they shouldn't depend on the newspaper that's for information. No. Even everywhere in the world, the masses know that the traditional media has failed them. Because they are mouthpiece of the government. They are the mouthpiece of the government in power. Not just in Nigeria, every country in the world.
Mouthpiece of the government.
Yes, the traditional media are the mouthpiece of the government.
Everyone?
Most of them. Why VOP is different is that the owner is not a politician. Understand me? That's why people's voices are being heard. Assuming that he's a politician, assuming that he is owning banks, I understand me, they will have used the EFCC, understand, to threaten him. But he is like a PP2B. Understand? When you look at the we don't have anything against this man, no. Understand? Assuming he's owing bank, understand? You and I will not have been saying
what do you make of the? What do you make of? I was restraining myself from asking this, but let me just briefly. What do you make of the NBC directives to broadcasters?
Well, I want to say something. I'm a fan of regulation.
Yeah.
I believe in regulation. Anything that is not regulated is subject to abuse. Understand? So for me, NBC is doing their work. Understand? As a regulatory body, people need to be controlled. But with their latest edition on Saturday, I know where they are going. This enforcement should be holistic. Understand? Don't target particular radio and TV stations. Understand? If I say let me use an example. If TVC says something and get away with it, understand? VOP should also get away with it.
But what if, like you said, so many media houses have been compromised? What if these media houses that have been compromised never say anything against the government, and another radio station that has not been compromised says something against the government and is tagged? Because who defines what is bullying?
That is why nobody is listening to them. Understand? That's why nobody is watching them, because people know that that what they are saying is not the truth. Understand? Before, CNN used to be the most watched TV station. Go and check their rating as we speak. People are moving away in drones because they are not representing the masses. So for me, NBC is doing their work, understand me? But let every enforcement be holistic. Don't target anybody.
How do we define truth? Because when you talk about, okay, everything you say must be the truth, everything you do must be, they're using the word professional and all that. So what do you do in the...
They should start by addressing those in governments, understand, that insult people anyhow. Understand? Just like what Nelson Wike said, that if he has his way, he will have broken Channel TV and shoot show. What is that?
Anyway,
it is understand me. Anyway. Understand me. So, but the role of the media is objectivity.
Yeah.
The role of the media is objectivity. Understand? What is his name? Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's the American greatest comedian, saying, if you don't want to be criticized, be nothing and do nothing. Understand? So if government is not doing well, and I say that government is not doing well, you cannot say that it is bullying. Understand? For the past 1 month, I have started buying wash and wear clothes because of electricity. That's what this that I'm wearing now is not ironed. Understand? If I go there to buy, I will say the one that will not need ironing, because government has failed in their promise of giving us stable power supply. So if I say it on air, you say it is hate speech.
That's why I was asking who defines truth. Because when you say, okay, for instance, this government has done badly in security, everybody in government tells you security has improved. So their truth is that the security has improved. The truth of the masses is different. So who defines the truth that stays true?
I listened to one APC House of Reps House of Reps member from Kanu, Dogo. Understand? He was saying that that the government is not doing enough on security. That's what APC member said, that government is not doing, and the speaker was at the venue, that government is not doing enough in the area of security, and there's no way they can hide it. Because this is what concerns the life of the people. You cannot kill somebody's mother or father. You expect that the children not to make noise. They must make noise. So for me, my first degree was in philosophy. Understand? And in philosophy, we were told that definition of a truth is the confirmation of an object that's with the intellect. That's how truth is defined in philosophy. Now, if I tell you, if you go outside there, you see a red car. You go outside and you see a red car, it means that what I told you is the truth. Understand? I don't care what any other person said. And that is what I use when I'm on air doing my analysis.
Yeah, but somebody can tell you that the fact that you didn't see red car means you are colorblind. So what do you do? Okay, it's something else. Okay, finally, Amukuton, Falano, and some other people are calling for his resignation. Let me hear your thoughts.
Um, for for me, assuming we are in a country where conscience rules, where integrity rules, Amopita shouldn't wait for anybody to tell him to resign. If he's in Britain, he would have resigned a long time ago. But in Nigeria, we don't bother about our name. Understand? We don't bother about our name. We don't bother about what posterity will remember us for. Understand? So there's no election in this country that Amopito will conduct that people will have confidence in. Because people have lost confidence in him. Understand? There's no national INEC chairman that has been criticized even before conducting election like this one. Murik started it. Understand? From Murik to the civil society and the rest of the people.
Are the criticisms justified, in your opinion?
One, Murik said that he was promoting a Christian genocide. Understand? And that they are not happy about it, that to them it is a partisanship. That's religious partisanship. Understand? So then he was battling with it before this the tweets that he sent during 2023 election. But the truth is that he is communicating his own case. Understand me? He is communicating his own case. Assuming it's me, I would have admitted all that. Understand me? One, he is from Kogi. Understand? Kogi was carved out of Benue State. Understand? There is a Christian massacre going on in Benue State. Understand? Christian massacre going on in Benue State. And he must have had some friends or relatives who must have been touched. So reporting that, or writing about that, I don't see it as anything bad based on that particular experience. Then the tweet that he sent, understand, in 2023, he was a private citizen at that time. He was not holding any position in government. So they say that every man is a political, that human beings are political animals. So there's nothing stopping him from having sympathy to a political party or the other. There's nothing stopping him from having sympathy for one politician or the other. Let me use myself as an example. In 2007, I wrote a book, The Many Sins of PDP, Why the People's Democratic Party Does Not Deserve to Rule Nigeria. Understand? Bondame Tinubu then, this is a national radio. Bondame Tinubu then bought 500 copies of that book. Aregwesonda bought 1,000 copies of that book. Aregwesonda come again, then the copies has exhausted. I told him that I don't want to print more because I'm not sell. Understand? So at that point in time, PDP we have just finished Obasanjo's 8 years in office. I was in the Labour movement. In 1999, we have an idea of what democracy should be. Understand? What democracy should bring to Nigerians. Our philosophy is that another name for democracy is development, freedom. We did not have enough of that under the Obasanjo administration. Understand? So, so that informed my writing of that book. That's why I titled it "The Many Sins of PDP." So those in the opposition were very happy. They bought all the book, used it for their campaign. Understand? But at that point in time, I never know that there will be a monster that will be worse than PDP, which is APC. Understand? So tomorrow, ask me, why did you write that book against PDP? It was based on the information that I have at that point in time. Understand me? I cannot deny that I did not write that.
I'm sure people will be asking you to write another one about APC now. They'll be asking you to write another one about APC right now.
So I cannot deny writing that book. Understand me? It was based at the information that I have at that point in time. I was not really happy with Obasanjo's performance. Because they say $16 billion will give us electricity we never see. What happened in Zakibiam and in Odi? Understand? A minister of internal affairs died in prison under Obasanjo, was not given fair hearing. Understand me? And like I said, I was in the labor movement before 1999. Me, Chima Obani, Chima Obani, Omoyene Showore, and others. Even this first two say Kiyamo. We used to meet at Beko Ramson Kuti's office at Inupeju. Understand? To discuss how we can get a better Nigeria. So after Obasanjo's 7-8 years, I wasn't happy with what I saw. That's why I wrote that book. Understand? But I never knew that another government will come that will be far worse than PDP, which is this current APC. Understand me?
Doctor, our time has gone so long ago, and we've been talking and just enjoying ourselves. Let me just hear a final word from you this morning.
Well, for me, I know that APC is going to have a problem with all this defection. Because in a state, you just have one governor only. You cannot have two governors in a state. Understand? You only have 30 senators in a state. So when everybody defect into APC, and in a state, they pick one governor, what of the other people who are still interested in becoming governor? It means they will have to go to other parties, understand, to see if they can realize the ambition. That's why I say we can never have a one-party state in Nigeria. So APC is going to have a very serious problem. And if APC wins in 2027, it is the opposition that gives them that victory by failing to unite and coming up with a popular and acceptable candidate. Understand? If they can unite, come up with a popular and acceptable candidate, they will defeat Tinubu. And I stated this in my book, Abuse of Power, how democracy turned into tyranny of the few. Understand? So for me, I keep on saying I don't see Tinubu as a strong candidate. What makes you strong in politics is that you have delivered on your campaign promises, which means the people are happy with you. But when the majority are not happy with you, you are not a strong candidate because power belongs to the people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So in case you're just joining us, we've been talking with Dr. Peter Anosike. In case you want to connect with him, because people have been asking me this question, he has just one number, and he's always been giving the number out for you to be able to reach him in case you want to get his books, especially the 3 books that he has now. Abuse of power is one. Dangote's commandment on money is another one. There's another one for self-development that you need to read if you want to find out how you can develop yourself, because you first of all develop yourself before you can develop your society, by the way. So it's 080 3577 9230. 080 3577 9230. Dr. Peter, thank you for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I don't know whether you are hearing me.
Yes, what's your name and location, please?
Yeah, my name is Innocent. I'm calling from Amu of the First State.
Okay.
Tax. Please, I know you people have spoke very well, and what we are trying to do now is solution of problem, because the election is coming closer, very, very close. And the ADC we are hoping on, they are still either here or here. So what we are trying to advise them is Obi and Atiku should understand themselves. Amechi, I hope we have also spoke through interview. The Atiku also has spoke. So we want Peter Obi to also talk something. Let us work together. If they want this, because when they are, whatever that man said there is true, that if these people win, which APC, 70% of this thing is from ADC, because they didn't do their work very well. Because if Obi is complaining that 2023 he won election, if he has what he said, that he won this election of Alhaji Bola Ahmed is taking, and they rig him out. So what is his business again? Coming to contest now is more worse than that 2023. I know 2023 by former INEC chairman, that one is 70% somehow bad. But this one now is almost 95% that we are sure that Amopto will do. So why is he coming out again to complain? Is he doing it to favor Alhaji Ahmed again? Or he's doing it to favor Nigeria? Because if you want me to advise Obi, yes, Obi may be a good man when he is in government. He may do well. He may not do, but at least he may do, as according to what they say that in Anambra, that he did something. And also, Atiku have not failed in any way. I haven't seen where Atiku failed. Whatever they are telling him to do that he did that or that, I have not seen anything bad. No law in this country has proved Atiku that he's a criminal or whatever. So we advise Obi, if these people rig it 2023, this one now will be worse. Join this man. Let you people collect this power. And before you do it, make sure that the whole Nigerians, those is who, wrote and signed that after 4 years of Atiku, you will take over with Kwankwaso. If this thing happen like that, Nigeria just want to get our country back.
Okay, thank you very much. They're already working together, so I think this gospel should, we should look for a different gospel now. Obi and Atiku are working together. Whatever they come up with must be for the best interest of both their party and Nigeria. So let's drop that. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm good.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Dr. Peter.
He can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Please, that is not an advice. Which one is if Obi said he won the election, they took it from him. He wants to advise. That is not an advice. Don't say you are supporting Atiku. Instead of saying Obi should go and relax, Obi should do that. Okay, what's of the Atiku that man is supporting? Atiku has been carrying flags since how many years? Is he still the president? Just the man should be supporting Atiku, not advising Obi. That is not an advice, please. If you want to advise Obi, You advise him based on you should collect what belongs to him. That is how to advise someone, not in indirect way supporting another person, then costing another person or trying to make people to hate Obi. Please, that is not how to advise someone. God bless you, brother.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Agaji. In Zamfara State, group decry in reintegration of Boko Haram terrorists back into society, and innocent IPOB members are languishing in prison. And Tinubu is doing what he knows about his negative way of master strategy by allowing the reintegration of Boko Haram terrorists back into society because of 2027 general election. And it is unfortunate. Please tell the first caller to leave Peter Obi alone if he doesn't know what to say. This is from Leo from Lagos. Mazio Gochuku, aka Elder General from Ishero Oshun, is saying, good morning, VOP people. I want to thank God for Journey Mercy. This insecurity has gone beyond control. Instead of our leaders to seek for external help, they are busy fighting opposition because of 2027 election. Please free Mazi Namdi Kanu. Okay, thank you very much, Elder General. And this one is saying, when some people tell you they are angry with Tinubu, it's never about bad governance. It's for selfish reasons. In the next few days, I will be unveiling the real reason. NPA has a big role in this hatred. NPA was one of the Buhari's best programs, engaging about 1 million Nigerian youths over different batches. Hundreds of billions were committed to the program. Like most great initiatives in Nigeria, it was grossly mismanaged with traces of corruption and fraud everywhere. Okay, this is a very long message from Onovoge Igwe. Just unveil those messages or those reasons that you said so that we can take them. This message is very long. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, I can't hear you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to
How are
you.
you?
Fine.
I beg that man that called now. You should not pick his call.
What's your
again.
name? What's your name?
My name is David. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, David, go
What
on.
does it concern him about advising Obi? He should not be called in this station again. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. He's entitled to his opinion, so. Good morning, Yamgul. There is nothing like a repentant terrorist. For me, a terrorist will always be a terrorist. The federal government is making a big mistake by integrating these criminals into the society and most of them into the army. This is why we are not getting it right, and the sabotage we are seeing in our security agencies today will continue if the federal government fails to order shoot at sight of these terrorists. It's laughable to see the way the federal government always treat IPOP members when caught, but always pampering Boko Haram and terrorists as if they are lesser evils. Nevertheless, Nigeria is our own and must definitely be a better place for all of us. Have a blessed day, my good friend Yamgul. From His Royal Highness BC Nwoko in Oshodi. Thank you very much, BC Nwoko. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
So, this is Mr. Bashiru coming from Shomolu.
Oh, Bashiru, thanks for calling. Go on.
Please, so, sometimes we just look at this thing, we just many people where they even say that supporting Obi, they are APC supporter. In fact, they want Obi to just pay that ticket. When you see that ticket, you see what is just happening. Obi can never beat Tinubu. Only you can never beat Tinubu. Or let me go meet Atiku. You cannot. All this thing now is matter of calculation. Many of them, this 2023, that's the election where they come out to come and vote. Many of them, we are on the ground. We know what is happening. Many APC supporters, they are sponsored them. Maybe they say Obi. They are APC supporters. We know ourselves. Where is just the caucus where you are talking? We know many of them. Then they talk to support Obi. So that we all say okay. Obi anywhere Obi. Many of them, they are APC supporters. What they are just trying that let Obi call. If Obi collect ticket, Tinubu will just go and relax. You know, you don't win this election. Make anybody just forget about it. You have no need for us to judge this ourselves. We know ourselves. We know how the thing don't even work. We are on this thing for a long distance. Many of them, now this 2023 election, I in the photo. whether they call Obi, with what is on the ground. Even though say it's now only Obi don't even day for this thing. Say Obi can even drag down with Tinubu. Make they don't forget when the election just come now. We know what is happening in Falaguru. I'm the agent of that place. I know exactly what is happening there. What is happening there? Say they cannot even withstand it.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know. Obi will not vote for himself to win. Obi will have just one vote. It's the people that will vote for whether Obi or Tinubu or anything. So I don't know why people say he can't. When Buhari won, was it because he was able to beat Tinubu? It was because Tinubu gave him his support. So that's what is happening. Anybody can stand up. Even you talking to us now, you can compete or contest. And then if Tinubu says that you are the one that is going to be the president and supports you, then you are likely to win. So let's stop that off. This one cannot win. This one can.
Nyamgo, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Robert. I am calling you from Apapa.
Robert, thank you.
Anytime they mention this APC government, I don't know why I feel in my body. Buhari borrowed 80 trillion with subsidy. Though we face hardship, but it's not like this. This man, 3 years, 200 trillion. So ask yourself, other Nigeria should have another 5 years if he wins. How is the economy going to look like? We should not be deceiving ourselves now. So I don't know. My brother, I just listened to radio just to listen, but I know that the economy is not good. You understand? There's no hope. Let us not deceive ourselves. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes, sir. Okay, go on.
Now, when I listen to people talk, their parlor talk, I continue to wonder, do they listen at all? Do they put their ears on the ground to know what is going on? I think it's an insult to be obedient. I'm an obedient. It's an insult to be obedient for somebody to come in to tell us, let us go and get done that one. What sort of insult is that one? After all, Obi won that election. Obi won with over 10 million votes. I'm putting Babashilawa, I'm putting L5. The people who competed the things for Tinubu. So now, why do you think Obi will not win again? With the support, I'm not saying Obi alone, because Obi never acted alone. Why do you think Obi will not win again? And then somebody say, go and meet this. I think it's black power and drunken voice that I hear when I hear all those type of talk. Because you look my dear in your good. Let us see UOP is putting people right. And I love the way you have just told that you diplomatically told those people to know that they are not saying the right thing. I think we should talk more about 210 trillion that is missing. And nobody's talking about it. We should hammer out on it every day. Let us have back our 210 trillion. That's not a small money. We would have just we can just settle the debt we owe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Just by way of information, know that the continual voter registration has not ended. So many people are saying it has ended, so you're discouraged from going. They did this voter registration in batches. The second batch, I think, is the one that is ending in this April. Another one will start again in the first or second week of May, and it will go on and on till about August or so. So if you have not had your PVC, it's time now to go get your PVC. The lines have thinned. There are no longer crowds there where you go to, and a lot of people have collected their PVC. So if you go, it should be a little bit easier for you to collect. And then if you are more than one person that has not collected from your area, you can just decide to go together so that nobody can intimidate you out of doing what you're supposed to do. So it's still on. But this is just me saying, if you are eligible to contest election in your party, what you need is the support base of the people who say they can support you. You don't need to be the most popular candidate. You just need to have that integrity, and you just need to have that that competence to do what you're supposed to do. And you rally the people that have a fan base or a support base to be with you. So if in Lagos State, for instance, the president says, I want one barrow pusher to become the deputy governor of Lagos, just because he's competent enough, he's well read, and he has compassion for his people. I want him to be the deputy governor. And he makes a public pronouncement that this is the person I'm supporting. Everybody in Lagos will align. That's how it works. So let's not keep calling people and saying this one is this one is that. We're looking for men of integrity, and then after that we'll appeal to the people who have the so-called structures to queue behind this person, because this is the one we are going to vote for. So if you are eligible, go. We will vote for you. It's the people that will vote, not the candidates themselves. The candidates have one vote each. Okay, let me take a final message before I bow out this morning. I salute you, my gallant friend, Mr. Nyamgul Agaji. Now, how was your morale for this beautiful morning? I send the this message to all my family and friends. Why did I lose that message right now? I've lost that message somehow, and I don't know how to retrieve it. Maybe, but I think it's from OC Morale, T.A. Lagbaja. Thank you very much for your message. Somehow I lost it, and I'm sorry. We have so many messages here that we need to read out, and so many calls are coming in, but we are very sorry. We cannot take all of them right now. It's time to pay some bills, and after that we'll get out of the studio to return at 10:30. We're hoping that you're going to be there. We'll read your messages later. Please do not resend, because we start reading these messages from the ones that have been sent earlier before we go to the ones that we get later on the show. So don't resend, except you want to contribute to the next show, which is coming up, which is the Igbo show that is coming up. But so far, I'd like to thank you for your time, and hoping that you will reconnect with us at 10:30. I'm out of here for now. My name is Nyamgul Agaji.
Well done, oh my people. How things they go, God go bless us. No matter how things be, we no go suffer. Now better I carry come. How tenant go become landlord, landlady with cooler mind. Where you go buy better land, where go give you rest of mind. No omonile wahala. Now Kudos Homes Limited I dey talk about. Kudos Homes Limited get many land for where it don't become city. It no be bush. Come buy land for anywhere you like. As you dey buy any of this land, you go dey collect free gift like Android